I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice candy. It's just like, oh, so she's like, oh, fuck that. Now go get your fucking questionnaire and get out of here. He's not gonna have it, Chad. I mean, he says something a little, a little more tact instead of how I would say it, Chad. But she leaves, and then fucking Mig's like, jism attack, Chad, jism. It was super effective. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video.
He's a raving maniac. Who knows what he'll do?
Thank you, Clary. Thank you.
We are starting out in Quantico, Virginia, Chad. It's the headquarters of the FBI. That's the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Because Norbit killed more than just Eddie Murphy's career. I mean, he resurrected it, though. I'll tell you, man, Eddie Murphy's a talented guy. He made a lot of bad choices. He let his ego, hurt him, right? But I really liked, Dynamite Is My Name. That was great. I really like that film. I'm looking forward to Coming to America too. So he's been on a bit of a rise right now. I think he's gonna do well. Bloodsucking Gamers, welcome to stream. Hope you're doing very well. Charisma, good to see you. Lost Miracle, welcome back. Hope you're doing very well. No, good to see so many people coming in here and for the review show. But we are opening up to Quantico, Virginia, chat. That is the headquarters of the FBI. It's the Federal Bureau of Investigation, chat. And who do we see in the woods? We're in the woods of Quantico, chat. And who do we see just doing the fucking Tom Cruise run, just chopping goddamn air, chat? Who's waddling forward? It's fucking Clarice Starling, chat. Jodie Foster herself. And she is hot. She is very hot, chat. And she is sweaty. But she's like, I gotta prove myself, okay? Because she's entering the man's world of the FBI. They look down upon her, chat, because of her sex. Because she is a woman. They think, you can't catch serial killers, Clarice Starling. It's like, I'll prove you fucking wrong. I'm gonna run this goddamn obstacle course every goddamn day of my life to prove you I can physically do it, shit. She's fucking doing it. She's jumping around and shit. She might as well be goddamn Spider-Man, chat, the way she's jumping around. But she's going through this fucking woods. By the way, we hear that incredible score. Who does the score of this movie, chat? I want to give him a shout. The score of this film is incredible. Howard Shore! Look at that. It's funny now, chat. I was just talking about Howard Shore not that long ago. In my Fly review, he also did the 1986's Fly score. Look at that. Did a goddamn good job, in my opinion. Yeah, did a real goddamn good job. But chat. She's fucking running around, and she's going through the tires. She's doing that little tire exercise that you see football players do, but then she is stopped, and this morbidly obese man is like, stop, he's, Clarice, come here, and she goes over, it's like, what is it, sir? She's a very thick West Virginian accent, chat. That's a big part of her character. And, he's telling you, yeah, Jesus Christ. Director Crawford, Scott Glenn wants to talk to you. You gotta go see Scott Glenn. And so she runs off, chat. She doesn't have any time to shower when Scott Glenn, Director Crawford, is calling for you. Okay, you gotta go pronto, okay? So she gets a little tookus, chat, into good old Quantico, and she's walking the hallways, chat, and you can tell that she is just fucking reeking, chat. She's reeking. She has not showered in many hours, chat, wandering through the woodlands of Quantico, Virginia. And people are, you're like I said it before. You know how you see heat, chat, like on like concrete or like on asphalt or tar, and it's like in a hot summer's day, you actually physically see the heat in the distance. That's what you see when Clarice Starling's coming at you, chat. You see the stink that's coming at you. Jay Cuz, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing very well today. You literally see the goddamn stink wafting off to her, chat, and they're trying to avoid her, okay? Not because she's a woman, because she smells. And eventually she goes into an elevator, chat. She's like the smallest person in the elevator. And she's surrounded by all these big guys, chat. Look like they're 7 feet fucking tall. Jesus Christ, the hiring practices of the FBI are ridiculous, chat. We need giants to defend us against the serial killers in 1991, against the Ted Levines and the Anthony Hopkins of the world, chat. But then the elevator's part, chat, and all the men disappear. I think they just fucking collapsed. I think they just all died due to her stink, chat. But she goes down the hallway, chat, Director Crawford's office. He's not there. Where you're seeing, you gotta wait. You gotta wait in his office, chat. So she waits in his office, and again, Love the aesthetic, chat, because it feels very lived in. It's like I've worked in an office environment most of my life, chat, in universities and things, and you could tell that someone's lived there for a while or worked there for a while just because the paper of the books they have is yellowed over, chat. You get like I've been working office environment since, I don't know, I'm going to say the late 2010s, or no, the early 2010s, chat. And you can tell someone's been there a long time because you'll see fucking books there from like the 1990s and 80s. It's like, Jesus Christ. And it's like they have not moved since then, chat. They haven't moved in 20 years. You can see that fine layer of dust on them. So I appreciate the set decoration, chat, the production. It's a small thing. It's a subtle thing, but you can tell that they were very serious about this. They want to make sure that everything feels very intimate and real, and they capture that so goddamn well in this movie. But then, chat, you see this big old board. She has a big old board of newspaper clippings, chat, and various papers and images, pictures of the work of Buffalo Bill, chat. He's skinning his humps. He's been skinning women, chat, for some reason. And the FBI just can't figure it out. And Clarice Starling staring at all these pictures. She wants to know, too, but nobody knows. The press doesn't know. FBI doesn't know. And Clarice Starling definitely doesn't know. Neither does Scott Glenn. But then who comes in, chat? Fucking Scott Glenn. And he's going, Clarice Starling. She goes, sir, yes, sir. What can I help you with? He's like, you're stinky, but you go ahead and sit down. And they sit down. He starts going over all her schoolwork, chat. She's a star fucking pupil of the academy, you know, saying that you're magna cum laude, all that good Latin terms, chat. She knows her shit. Even talks about how Scott Glenn lectured one of her classes and how she really held his ass to the fire, chat, during the J. Edgar Hoover years. As you know, chat, J. Edgar Hoover, he was one of the guys that started the FBI, typically looked at as a guy that started the FBI, but he was kind of an asshole. He was weird, Chad. He constantly abused the law, Chad, for his own selfish gains. And a lot of his tenure at the FBI has been criticized, Chad, since he originally left it in the 70s during the Nixon administration. There's also a bad movie with Leonardo DiCaprio that covers it, Chad. It's not a great film. It's not a great film. But he says, I'm not here to have you grill me about J. Edgar Hoover. And she's like, is it about Buffalo Bill? You seem to be trying to catch. He's like, not about that either. No, what I need you to do is go talk to this one particular killer up in Baltimore. It's Dr. Hannibal Lecter. She says, Hannibal the cannibal, that guy? Yes. I need you to put together a psychological profile, okay? And she says his psychological profile is just like to catch serial killers like Buffalo Bill. He's like, you have your orders, Starling. Here's your badge. He's not telling her all the details, Chad. He's keeping some things close to the vest. Maybe honesty, thing is, Chad, honesty is the best policy, all right? You should be fucking honest with Clarice Starling instead of trying to manipulate her, Scott Glenn. It's not nice. Okay, it's actually because he kind of likes her, chat. There's like this weird romantic, I can even just describe it, because everyone brings it up in the movie. Even Hannibal Lecter's like, you do know Scott Glenn's trying to get into your pants. You do know that. And she's like, no. She's like, oh, come on. And they've kind of subtly implied throughout the film that Scott Glenn is attracted to her, but she's also attracted to Scott Glenn. And it's like, I don't know if that was necessary, personally. There's also this one scene at the end where I'm like, that was a very intimate handshake. There was a lot of focus, literal focus on that handshake they have at the end of the movie. But it's like, it always felt weird to me. Always felt weird. Steven, welcome to stream. Steven, hope you're doing very well. Good to see you. We're just talking about the intimate moments between Scott Glenn and Jodie Foster. How do you feel about him, guys? I'm kind of like, I'd go either way. It's fine. It's not really important detail in the movie itself. I get it, but it is exploring the weird interpersonal relationships at these office environments, chat. It's like, what's business and what's personal? They always get intermingled, chat. It's weird, but she does great. And she says, you're only going to be an FBI agent for the week, but put together this profile, but be careful. Don't let Hannibal Lecter get inside your head, because he'll never leave it. It's true, chat. It's very true. Oh, Darkslayer. Darkslayer, hand-holding, disgusting, especially in the time, shit, of Big Rona. Don't hold anyone's goddamn hand. 6 feet. 6 feet. I'm right there with you, Darkslayer. But yeah, she goes ahead and she goes to Baltimore and she meets with the Baltimore Asylum Sanatorium manager, chat, Dr. Frederick Chilton. And he's an asshole, chat. Now, he doesn't give a shit. Like, as soon as he sees, Clarice Starling, he immediately tries to hit on her, saying, like, I don't think I've ever seen someone as beautiful from the FBI before. And she goes, yeah, that's nice. That's great. Hey, what about Dr. Lecter? Let's go and see him. He's like, his wooing, chat, he realizes it's failed. And he's like, fine, whatever, fuck it. I'm trying to woo you. I'm trying to wine and dine you and bed you, but you don't like what Frederick Chilton's offering you. Fine. We'll go ahead and see Dr. Lecter. And so they're going throughout the asylum itself, down to the balls, down to the anus of the asylum itself, chat. You know, where even the devil's like, I wipe my hands away of these people, okay? I'm an evil son of a bitch, but this what's going on here, I am not getting involved. No fucking thank you, chat. And there's this great scene where he's explaining, like, you will not touch the glass. You will not give him any pens, pencils, paper clips, staples, anything that could be used to stab people in the necks and or eyeballs with, okay? That is no bueno. And also, I want to show you this because they also go into this kind of little room, chat, where it's this in between where they're shutting this one main gate. It's all like on electronic, like an electronic lock setup. So they shut one door and it takes a little while for the other door to open, chat. And it's like this room. It's like this white room, but it's all completely in red. They got red light bulbs, chat. So they literally like you're entering the bowels of hell, chat. And the devil's just about to poop you out. And he tells you, I got one last thing to show you. He shows her an image. And he's like, this is what happens, okay, when we thought we had control of him, or he thought he was an easy patient to deal with. One time, he said that he was complaining about chest pains, and we are going to get him a chest x-ray. Well, now we had his fucking mouth guard off of him because he was just kind of relatively passive ever since he originally moved here. So we basically allowed him without it. And apparently when the nurse was reaching behind him for something to help him with his straps to get him out of his little security thing, he did this to her. He takes out a picture. He's like, we managed to reset her jaw and save one of her eyes, but he ate her fucking tongue, ate one of her eyeballs, chat, ripped off her nose, and this is what he is, okay? And his pulse never even went up a beat. He's a complete and total sociopath, okay? He doesn't care. So fair warning to you. And the thing is, he kind of thinks of me. He's like pumping himself up, chat. He thinks of me as his personal nemesis. And they're about to walk down there together, but she stops and goes, well, you know what, Dr. Chilton? You know, the fact that he thinks you're his personal nemesis, which is bullshit. He does not. He's just annoyed by Dr. Chilton. He just doesn't like him. He's an asshole, chat. He says, maybe it would be best if I just go alone. Seeing you along with me might be hard to do the interview psychological profile process. He's like, well, you could have told me up in my office. But then she said, I love it. It kills me. She says, but then I wouldn't have been able to experience the loveliness of your company. And he's like, all right, fuck you. Okay, I'm gone. And so he goes up there, chat. And then we're introduced to the very nice character, chat, of Barney. Good old Barney, chat, who was one of the orderlies down there in the bowels of the devil's sphincter. And Barney's great in this movie. I love him. He gets really fucking weird in Hannibal, like picking up trash off the street, chat, and roadkill and just eating it. It's like, Barney, why are you doing that? Why are you picking up dead pigeons and cooking them? Very bizarre. I'm like, why are you doing that to that poor guy? He's very nice to you. But, she comes in, and Barney's like, I'm sure Dr. Chilton gave you the whole shebang about what to do and what not to do. She's like, he did. He's like, that's okay. You listen, if anything goes wrong, you call me or anyone in here. We'll come and get you, no problem. I put up a chair for you so you can sit down, but please let us know if you're uncomfortable or anything. We'll come and get you. And she goes, thank you so much, Barney. She sees on the wall, chat, like they have all these fucking guns. They got pistols. They got shotguns. They got assault rifles. They got grenades. They got RPGs. Jesus Christ, what kind of criminals are they dealing with, chat? I'm telling you, Hannibal Campbell Lecter. Sometimes you got to use a grenade against them. Sometimes you got to use an RPG, chat. And then she makes her way down the hallway, chat, where she sees all sorts of fuck criminals. People are like, yeah, reaching out for her and shit. Like, these guys have not seen a woman for years, shit, if not decades. Even Hannibal the Cannibal himself, he has not seen a woman in nearly 8 years, shit, okay? He needs something. He passes by all these other goddamn cells. People are saying, I smell things. I'm not going to say the word this time, chat. Don't want to be taking on a goddamn contest again, try to ruin me. But she passes by all these cells, chat, and who does she see? Just sitting there, and all the cells are the same except for him, chat, except for his, where it's made of this very thick plastic with little holes in it so he can fucking breathe. And she walks there, chat, and he's just standing in the middle of the goddamn cell, just staring at her like he already knew, like he smelled her coming, chat. He's like, well, that's Clarice Starling. I'm gonna be all extra creepy for her and just stare at her. And all he says is like, hello, Detective Starling. And she's like, hello, Dr. Lecter. He's like, are you a representative of the FBI? She's like, I am. And she's like, I would love to start the interview. He's like, I would like to see your credentials. And she's like, of course, no problem. We want to get on the right foot, don't we, doctor? He goes, indeed. And so she takes out her credentials, chat. But she's like good. She's like practicing social distancing, okay? She's supposed to not get close up to the glass yet. That's what Dr. Chilton said. That's what Barney said. And she takes out her credentials so you can tell she's nervous. And he's like, I'm having trouble seeing them. Can you bring them closer? And she goes, sure. And she gets a little more close. She's like, closer. Just fuck with her, chat. She's rubbing against the glass. He comes over, just like a goddamn insect or a snake, not blinking, not doing much of anything. He goes up. It says here this expires in 1 week. Did Director Crawford send a trainee, a student to see me? He's like insulted by this chat. It's like, how dare Director Crawford do that? She's like, but she kind of alleviates the situation. She tries to calm it down. She says, well, I am a student. I hope to learn from you, Dr. Lecter. And he's like, learn from me? What would you like to learn from me? Well, I hope you can go ahead and I can learn from you through this questionnaire. He's like, no. You were doing so well. You were doing so well, Miss Starling. He's like, by the way, I heard Miggs, he smelled you earlier. You know, I sadly cannot. But he does get a whiff of her check because then he just starts fucking sniffing the goddamn air. He's like, you wear Avion skin cream and a very specific brand of perfume, but not today. Oh, you're not wearing that perfume for dear old Dr. Lecter? It's like too goddamn bad. And she's like, listen, I just want to go ahead and start this little questionnaire for you. She slides it in. It's like, okay, put it in that little booth right there. And then you have like a little thing where it crosses over Chad, how to deliver his meals and things. Puts it over. He's looking through it and everything. He's just like, this will not do. He starts making fun of her accent, Chad, right out of the goddamn blue. And he's like, no. You're trying to dissect me with this little questionnaire of yours, Miss Clarice Starling. She's like, I hope to learn from you, Dr. Lecter. You know what I see? When I look at you, Clarice, I see a rube. You with your cheap shoes and your accent, which you're trying to hide. No, see, what I see from you, Clarice Starling, what I see from you is I see one generation away from poor trash, and you're just trying to escape, just trying to fly away. And she's just like, all right, dude, if you're not going to fucking help me, then I'm done with you. I'm not going to do this, all right? I'm done. I'm through. And so she fucking gets up, chat. She's had enough of Dr. Lecter's little mind games trying to mock her and shit. She walks off, and then Miggs has just been going at it, shit. He's like, oh, God, he's jerking it. He's jerking it. He's like, I have something for you. And goes, and he throws his jism. Chat. And Clarice Starling gets on her. You see she's like, he gets the jism on her. And she's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Chad, that would ruin your day. I'm going to tell you right now, if you get jism thrown into your, especially she has hair, Chad, and for a woman to be worse. Because guys are like, all right, if you have short hair, you can get it out quick. But it's like in her hair now. It's like the scene, Chad, from Something About Mary, except even worse. It's like that same goddamn scene. Anytime someone throws body fluids at you, Chad, it's not a great day. Think of the 5 minutes. Lecter really loves. He does. I love that. Even within the cage, even within the prison, he just grinds you down. He looks at you. Because he analyzed everything from her very scent. Emily, the 5 minutes, Chris and his accents are everything. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Kimberly Kim, for the 5 biddies. I appreciate that. But that's the thing. Like, even though he's the prisoner, he's able to read someone, chat, even by their scent, how he's able to smell them and everything, chat. I mean, it's fucking great. How he can look at you and judge you by, he can listen to you, and he just completely, totally analyzes you. Even the great scene when she's basically trying to get him the questionnaire, chat, and, it's like, a census taker tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice candy. He's just like, oh, so she's like, oh, fuck that. Now go get your fucking questionnaire and get out of here. He's not going to have it yet. And he says something a little more tact instead of how I would say it. But she leaves, and then fucking Miggs, jism attack, yeah, jism. It was super effective. And then she's trying to go like, oh, but then Dr. Lecter's just like, Starling, come back. And she runs over. She gets very close to the glass. Very intimate, Chad. It's always very intimate from here on out between them. And he's basically giving her a clue, and he's telling her all this different shit. He's like, I'm going to give you a psychological profile of Buffalo Bill. She's like, why are you doing that? Because this is what Director Crawford wants now, doesn't he? Now, I'm going to give you one little hint, okay? Go to my storage garage, and you'll get all the answers you need. You'll find my patient, Moffat. Moffat sat on his toffet. And she goes, okay. And she runs away, Jen. She runs away. And she's like, fly. Fly. And he goes ahead and sits down, and he goes back, and all the prisoners are like, they're freaking out and everything, chat. And eventually we cut outside, chat, where she's leaving the sanatorium asylum. A lot of crazy shit has occurred at this point. And then she's just making her way to her car. Even her car looks like a piece of shit. This looks gross. But then she's getting this flashback, chat, remembering her father. Chat. Remember the Dr. Lecter's comments of poor white trash. And she makes her way there. And she's remembering herself as a little girl and seen her dad. He's the local sheriff of this small, dying West Virginian town, chat. And then eventually when, we go in the flashback where she's asking, did you catch the bad guys today, Dad? He's like, nah, they all got away, Clarice. She's like, oh, God damn it. She's like, don't say that now, Clarice. And we cut back to her and she's bawling at her car, chat. I mean, that was a huge traumatic experience. She let fucking Dr. Lecter get into her head, play around with her, chat. Got some information from him, but at the cost of incredible psychological and emotional distress, and she had jism thrown at her from multiple MIGs. And Dr. Lecter, as he said, I will not let that stand, Clarice Starling. I will not let that stand. And she's like, well, I got some good information, Chad. I'm gonna go and investigate. I'm gonna go ahead and investigate this storage garage. And that's where she goes, Chad. But meanwhile, Chad, we cut to fucking Buffalo Bill, Chad. And at least we're led to believe this is Buffalo Bill. And he is tracking his prey, Chad. He needs a big old fat person. He needs a big old fat person, Chad. He has these night vision goggles on. He's looking at this one particular woman, Chad, who's just driving a car. Apparently, he's been watching her for quite some time, Chad. And she exits her car. She has all these goddamn groceries, chat. She's trying to get into her apartment, chat. But she notices this poor man. She's got like a broken arm, like a busted arm or a broken leg or something, trying to get this couch in the back of his van. And, she's like, watching. She's like, oh, he seems to be struggling. And then, he catches her eye. So he goes, can you help me move this couch? Can you help me move this couch? And she goes, yeah. She puts the groceries down. She's going to help this poor guy move his fucking couch. And she goes, she's like, get up in there. Get up in there. And it hurts my leg. And she's like, no problem. She gets up in there, chat. And eventually, he's like, yeah, just like that. And they put the couch in there. He's like, thank you. He gets in the truck and goes, bah! And he goes, does it smell like chloroform to you? And he fucking knocks her out, chat. The chloroform attack, it was super effective. And she goes down, chat. She cries a bit because, being chloroform is a traumatic experience. But she goes down nonetheless. And then he moves over, chat, to her back, and he rips open her clothes, and he goes, oh, yeah, it's beautiful. He's about the lady's back. She's into that kind of shit. And eventually he drives off, chat, to where we do not know. We do not know, chat. But we cut to her apartment where she has a kitty cat, chat, and the cat's like, oh, God, my owner got kidnapped. No. But the cat's the only one that knows at this point, chat. The cat has all the details, and it cannot speak human. Cannot speak human, chat. But eventually, we cut back to good old Clarice Starling, chat. She's still in the middle of her investigation. She's talking to the owner of the storage garage, chat. Very weird guy. He's dressed very fancy, chat. He's got like a fancy beard and shit, and he's not very helpful. He's good at conversation, chat. Not great in manual labor, all right? She's like, they're trying to get this one door open to Dr. Lecter's storage garage. But apparently it's been paid 10 years in full. So I've had no reason to open it back up. And she goes, that's like fucking weird. She goes, yeah, right. Yeah, paid 10 years in full. And so she's trying to open it, chat, but she just can't get open. It's stuck because it hasn't been open in goddamn 10 years. It's been rusted over, chat. So much rust and fucking, fungi and all sorts of bad stuff. Animals, chat, building their shit nests. It's terrible. And eventually she's like, hey, he's like, I'll help you, but he's so fucking old and feeble, chat. He can't lift shit. And she says, what about your driver? He's like, I would ask him, but he hates manual labor. He's a shitty fucking driver. He's a shitty goddamn, assistant there. She's like, you know what? Don't worry, I got it. Because, chat, she knows what to do, okay? She's prepared for these situations. So she goes to the back of her car, gets a wheel jack, chat. You know how you can, place your wheels in the car? She gets that, and she manages to pump it up a bit, but it won't go all the way up, chat. It just gets stuck. And so she's like, okay, I gotta roll underneath there, chat. I gotta use my Quantico FBI training. So she waddles underneath there, chat, but then she cuts her leg, cuts her inner thigh, like, it hurts, but she manages to get in there, chat. And this place, by the way, it's pouring fucking rain, and you could just smell the mold and fungi in this place. And again, the set detail is absolutely amazing in this movie. And she's just looking around. It's obvious that. To me, it's obvious that David Fincher looked at Silence of the Lambs, took note, like, I gotta apply some of the same shit to Seven, chat. Like, I don't think Seven would exist without something like Silence of the Lambs. So he owes a lot to that movie. So she's looking around, Chad. It's like, is this filled with all sorts of knickknacks and random shit and like old cars, like all of Dr. Lecter's old things. Hasn't been looked at in nearly 8 years, Chad, because, he's been in prison for 8 years and they did a thorough investigation. Apparently not thorough enough, Chad, because there's something in here. There's something in here that connects to Buffalo Bill, forming that psychological profile. But she's looking in here, Chad. She finds this very fancy car. I don't know, looks like something in the 1930s or 40s. She opens this up. She's looking around. She finds this old book of pictures, Shep, and then she notices something like this. Almost looks like a bird cage, like it's this thing that's been cloaked over this veil. And she's like, what the fuck? And she takes the veil off, and there's a severed human head in it, Chad. There's a severed human head in it, Chad. It looks like a male's head, but it's covered in makeup, Chad, but it's in some type of embalming fluid. She's like, Jesus, that was fucking weird. Didn't expect that. But then she goes back to the sound check because she has more questions for Dr. Lecter. She got to get in. Barney's just like, what do you want? He's like, I got to talk to Dr. Lecter. And she goes ahead and she sits down with Dr. Lecter. She learns apparently, chat, because she gets on the phone call with Director Crawford. She's telling him about all these details, and he also tells her, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, Multiple Miggs is dead. She goes, what? Yeah, apparently he was having a conversation with Dr. Lecter, and he was crying, and apparently he swallowed his tongue. Now, I don't know how he swallowed his tongue, chat. Did he just like swallow it like he had a seizure, or did he literally cut off his tongue and choked on it? I don't know. Those details are not presented to us. We don't know, Jeff, but Multiple Miggs is dead, and so he will no longer be throwing his jism at people. Thank God. Thank God, chat. She's like, that's weird. Eventually, chat, she goes back to the asylum, and she meets with Dr. Lecter. And Dr. Lecter, he's got a good old Sunday program playing. Speaking of the Lord Jesus Christ, doing that New Testament kind of stuff. And she goes, that's kind of weird. And he goes, oh, that's Dr. Chilton's punishment for me. You know, he loves his small cruelties. And she goes, okay, you sent me there for a very good reason, Dr. Lecter. Okay, like you knew that head would be in here. And it's like, what happened? He explains a story that head was a patient of his that would go to him on again, like off, on again, off again, and saying like, his therapy just wasn't happening. It just wasn't working for him. So, inevitably, this is probably the best thing that happened to him was dying because it just wouldn't work. But he told me all these stories of this individual who he was very concerned about, who displayed this very aggressive behavior, the same type of aggressive behavior that Buffalo Bill seems to be displaying. It's like, in what way? He wants to transform Clarice Starling. She's like, what? She's like, all these details doesn't make any sense to her. She needs to know more. But, Hannibal Lecter's like, no. See, quid pro quo. In order for me to give you something, you need to give me something. So I can work out a deal with the FBI. We can get you something, maybe get you out here. He's like, yes, I do want that. I want to have a window. I want to look at a tree. I want to have some water. I've been in here 8 years. I haven't felt the sunshine on my face or the breeze across my face. If you can work something out, I'll be happy to help you. He's like, I can do that. But she's like, I want more. I want to know more about you, though, Miss Starling. She's like, okay, what do you want to know? And he goes all the details, like, what happened to your father? And she goes, well, because he said, like, tell me about your father and don't fucking lie to me. Okay, don't lie because I will know. Because that's what he is, Jay. He's a predator. He can tell when you're going to flinch. Even the most subtle thing. He's like a goddamn snake. And she goes, okay, I won't lie. And she tells him that my father died and my mother died 10 years ago. It was just me and him, and I was alone. What happened to your father, Miss Starling? And she starts like, well, he caught two people run out of a drugstore late at night. They robbed it, and he got the drop on him, but they shot him before he can get his gun out of his holster. And he's like, what happened next? What happened to your dear old dad, departed this corporeal world? He's like, I lived at a rancher's place. And but he's like, well, he didn't stay that long. Now, did you? She's like, no, I did not. Was he cruel to you? Did he abuse you? She goes, nope. No, he was a kind man. And he goes, well, what happened next? He's like, quid pro quo, Dr. Lecter, quid pro quo. And that's what he gives the knowledge of, like, he wants to transform, okay? There's some connection to how he's killing these people in the area that he's killing them in. There's a pattern, but the FBI she cannot recognize that pattern. And then after that point, Chilton's like, all right, time to get the fuck going. You got to get going. So she gets kicked out, chat. Meanwhile, the FBI, they get a call, and they found one of the bodies that Buffalo Bill has dropped, apparently in one of the Kentucky or West Virginian rivers. And they're like, we got to go out there and see what the hell's going on. So now Clarice Starling, she's going to, physically be there on the scene itself, chat, analyzing these very specific details, while also maintaining contact with Dr. Lecter, hopefully getting him that deal, chat. He needs that goddamn deal. And so they go there and they find the body. And we get more of that intimate, subtle intimacy between Starling and Director Crawford, chat. It's like, it's kind of weird. Quid pro quo. It's kind of weird, but it's like, all right, I see what you're going for. I get it. It's that intermingling of business, interpersonal relationship, chat, and how these, either they work or they don't, or they completely fall apart. But it's another complication in this movie, chat, which I love. And so they go there, and they're like, they're going to, the police, they found the body, chat. Apparently it was, I guess it's I guess they go over all the history of the bodies. Apparently, like his Buffalo Bill's MO, chat, where he gets the body. He apparently kidnaps them, or he kidnaps the person. He keeps them there for an indiscriminate amount of time. Eventually, he takes a strip of skin, almost like a trophy, chat. It was a trophy. There's another great line in the movie, too, where they're talking about how Buffalo Bill, with her and Dr. Luck, talking about, like, trophies. And he's like, well, I didn't take any trophies. He's like, well, no, you ate yours. You ate your trophies. Like, all right, you got me there. I did eat my trophies. You got me. They're always with me for a time until they're no longer there. But how they notice on each body, he kidnaps the person, he has them with him for an indiscriminate amount of time. He then kills them, usually by a bullet to the head, and he takes a layer of skin, a layer of fat and skin for whatever reason. And they don't know why he's doing this. Like, they just can't fucking put it together, Chad. They're like, what the hell is going on? But they eventually go there. They go to their the funeral home, chat, where they have the body stored up there. Apparently there's a funeral going on, and right when they're about to get into the intimate details, chat, Director Crawford's like, oh, we can't speak of the dead body with a lady present. And fucking Cliché's like, excuse me, what do you mean? And he's like, but he did that for a good reason, chat. And all the police, they exit the goddamn room, and well, she's just sitting there with all the police officers just staring at her. It's like, why'd they give a lady a badge? Worked for the FBI. We don't care for that liberal city folk nonsense. They're not about it, chat. And then she looks at this funeral scene going on, and she thinks back to when she was a little girl, chat, when she was at her father's funeral. Again, the trauma is still there. So she has a personal reason for this case, chat, and it's somehow connected to her past as well. Eventually, though, they're like, all right, enough of that, and they bring her into the laboratory, chat, where they're gonna perform an autopsy, the autopsy room. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna put on the goddamn pants here and tell these jabronis to get out of here. He's like, boys, I want to thank you for all your good work, okay? You brought her this far, but I'm gonna need you to leave, okay? We're gonna have to do some very intimate things to her. Thank you, but you can please go. And they're like, excuse me? It's like, thank you for everything you've done, but if you can please leave, we'd appreciate you. And they go out there, chat, but they're giving her, oh, how could a woman do this? The sexism, chat, the abject sexism. It's crazy. But they eventually, even Director Crawford, he's like, goddamn good work, Miss Starr. She's like, that's what I'm here for, sir. Prove myself. And eventually, she's like, okay, time to open up the bag with the dead body and chain. This body's been in this river for about 3 weeks, chat, so it's moldy, it's rotten, it's not great. Listen, gamers, you're so good at this, though, you ever think of putting this content on YouTube? My one piece of constructive criticism is to try to tell us more thoughts and opinions a bit more. You want to know just what happened, but how you think and feel. I do put this on YouTube, Bloodsucking Gamers. Matter of fact, I have a YouTube channel, Class in a Glass. It's the same as my Patreon. But no, I could go into more intimate detail about some of this. There's always particular scenes what I really dig. Again, I kind of talk about the in-person relationship between Scott Glenn and Jodie Foster, the subtle sexual tension between, a lot of sexual tension in this movie overall. That's a big theme about it. It's like, like how sex plays its role in attraction, and what is taboo and what's not. What's the line, chat? Like, that's what this movie, I think, really does explore. It's subtle. It's always in the background, but it's there, chat. And like each character has their own version of it. Like, whether it be Ted Levine's Buffalo Bill character, Hannibal Lecter, or Scott Glenn, chat. They all kind of have this weird sexual arc to each of them. And I like that. It shows you how it's like, okay, kind of innocent, but kind of inappropriate to, like, this is just fucking weird to, like, that's just disgusting. It's like the levels of it are very interesting to me. But yes, I do have a YouTube channel, Clap. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and post it right here. Actually, no, I'll do that after review. But no, thank you for asking. If you guys ever want to know social media details, it should be below in my About page of my Twitch channel. But, yeah, feel free to ask me anytime. I'll be sure to send you the dates. But it's a great scene, chat, because this kind of gives you an idea of how an autopsy is done. Maybe a Hollywood version of it, but it's cool. Where they have, like, Scott Glenn, he always carries this little, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like this, not lip balm, chat, but it's to scent it's basically it's this very powerful cream that you put underneath your nose, chat, and that's all you smell. It's like this minty thing, and he's used it often, chat, because like in this bottle, again, the set design is great. Like it's been used quite often, chat. It's got finger smudges, the goddamn labels peeling off. He's like, okay, you've touched that quite often. You've been around many a smelly dead body, Scott Glenn. And he takes this up, he goes, gives other people the funeral taker. He's like, don't worry, man, I can't smell anymore. All I smell is dead people, so I'm good. And he throws all these people that are putting it on, and he's like, here, Clarice, take it. And she's like, oh shit, she's not used to this, chat. Plus, this is very unsanitary, sir. It's very unsanitary. And she puts it on, chat. And they're like, okay, open her up. And they open up. Even the fuel taker's like, I can handle any scent. And he opens up, goes, whoo, that's a stinky one. Oh, that's a bad one in there. And they open up and they see her. And Scott, and they're like, ugh. And Scott Glenn, he throws Chloe Starr in the tape recorder. He goes, just fucking, talking shit. Just what do you see? What do you see? And she starts going over the details, chat. She's like, well, she's waterlogged. She's very bloated, chat. She's filled with much pus. A lot of pus in there now. A lot of water. A lot of insects are inside of her, chat. Just gross. Just rotten, chat. Been out there 3 goddamn weeks in the West Virginian river system. She's going over all these details. Eventually, they're turning her over, chat, and they notice like these diamond, because I guess they open the bag first. She's on her stomach first. That's what happens. So they open her up, and she's on her back, and they see, chat, on her back are these 2 diamond-shaped layers of skin that are completely removed. And they're like, they have no idea. You see the back fat too, chat, like the exposed back fat. Again, Andy Malger, he loved this shit. But the detail on this fake, they use both a actual person for this, chat, because an actual actress. I'm like, oh my god, I feel so sorry for you, and a dummy. But the dummy is so goddamn good. The makeup, I don't know if this won the Academy Award for best makeup, but sure as shit deserved it, chat, just for this scene alone. Like, this looks like a dead body. They nail it, chat. And they get every detail from the veins just dissolving. They're all black and stuff because the blood is coagulated at that point. Really, really good. Eventually, they turn around over, chat. It's like, oh, you thought the back was bad. Wait till you see the front. And they're continuing the autopsy, but they notice something because Chloe Starr, she's looking at her mouth and things. She says, there's something in her throat because she's all bloated. And, the funeral director says, that's, leaves and sticks and mud and that gets in there when they've been underwater for a while. And they're like, oh, let's look inside anyway. They take the tweezer chat and they take it out, and it's a goddamn pupa. It's a cocoon from an insect. You're like, what the fuck is that? How'd that get in there? And the field director's like, all right, that's bullshit. There's no way that a butterfly cocoon or moth cocoon, whatever the fuck that is, got inside of her throat. There's no way that would have happened. So it's like, it's been placed there. It's been placed there. And what did Dr. Lecter mention before about transformation? Things are coming together, chat. Things are coming together. Allegories, metaphor, chat. It's all about the metaphors. She's like, all right. This is very interesting. And so eventually, chat, it's found out. They go back to FBI headquarters, and the person, apparently, that good old Buffalo Bill, actually, he's not good old Buffalo, he's bad Buffalo Bill, kidnap is the junior, is the daughter, chat, the college age, I think she's like 20 years old, the 20-year-old daughter of the junior senator of Virginia or West Virginia, chat. And it's like, oh boy, that's not good. And the junior senator, she comes on to the president, even George H.W. Bush, shit. He's heard about this case. He's like, this is bad. All right, I want to go ahead. I want to reach to the heart. Look into your heart, Buffalo Bill. Give the junior senator's daughter back. Buffalo, I don't give a shit. But the junior senator, she's out there, and she's doing this whole speech to him, and she's always saying the name of the daughter, chat, Catherine. And Clarice Starling, she has a friend there, too. I forgot the friend's name, but she's like her FBI student buddy. And they're watching this, and she says that's actually really smart that she keeps saying the name because she's constantly trying to humanize the daughter so Buffalo Bill would start to feel guilty and hopefully let her go. I mean, it's a kind of a Hail Mary tactic, chap, but it makes sense in context. Thank you, Steve. Ooh. Thank you. Is that the 600 biddies? Thank you so much. Hello, my beautiful Revenites, and greetings to you, Steve. Thank you for making your presence known with that very generous donation. Welcome to stream. Oh, looks like we got to do a movie poll, chat. We're going to be doing a movie poll after this review. Hope you're enjoying the review so far, guys. Hope I'm giving you that intimate hot and sweaty details of the dead bodies, chat, and the actions of Buffalo Bill and Hannibal Lecter. Thank you so much, Steve. That was so kind. And speaking, chat, of Buffalo Bill, let's go ahead and cut to good old Buffalo Bill, chat. See what weird shit he's doing. But we cut to his inner sanctum, chat. Looks like it's in the basement. He's got all this fucking pop rock music playing on, and it filled in this place, shit. It's just weird shit. Dude, just weird shit. He has all these butterflies and these cocoons. So it's like, oh, clearly he was the one that put it there. And we cut to him, and he's like, seems to be making something, chat. It's like, is that flesh he's working with? Is that human flesh? Is he making a woman suit, chat? Oh, we shall see soon. But then we hear just this woman going, please help me, just screaming her ass off, chat. We see this little fucking dog, this poodle, just walking around this subterranean hellhole, chat. Just doing its thing. And eventually it looks on down, chat. We see Catherine, chat. She's in this fucking pit of horror. It's like, oh my God, what has she experienced so far? Oh, don't worry, we'll fucking get to it. We'll get to it. Eventually, chat, we cut back to Clarice Starling. She's going to the museum, chat. Gonna get that good old science book learning. Get that good old book learning, chat. And she's going to meet with 2 insect experts who apparently are playing chess or checkers with bugs and beetles. It's very weird. And she goes, hey, boys. Apparently she has an interrelationship with them, chat. They've helped her out in the past, and they're excited to see her. You got the one guy's like, hi, Clarice. And you got one guy who's like very cross-eyed. He's like, hello, Clarice. I'm like, oh, come on. Don't just focus on the fact that he's cross-eyed. Come on now. And the cross-eyed guy is super attracted to her, chat, because he's constantly hitting on her. And she's like, it's not gonna happen, buddy. He's like, you're gonna stop trying? He's like, nope, I am not gonna stop trying. He's like, good for you. At least I'll tell you this, chat. He's more appealing and good than Frederick Chilton. Frederick Chilton's just a goddamn creep. All right, at least this guy's like, I'm just being honest about it. All right, let's do it. She goes, you want to get burgers and beer? She goes, that sounds lovely, but no. Eventually, chat, she presents them with the pupa, with the cocoon, and they're going, that's weird. And they're like, okay, let's see what this little guy is. And they open him up, chat, and all this weird shit, and they go, oh, this is fucking weird, because what I'm seeing here, this is not native to North America, okay, or South America, this side of the fucking hemisphere. This guy is only native to Asia. So whoever this person was who has this, they imported them. So it's like, oh, that's a clue, chat. So someone imported these moths. It's a very specific moth. You'll be able to whittle down who it could be in the Virginia, Kentucky, West Virginia area, chat. Not a lot of people buying super specific moths. And apparently, chat, this moth is called the Death's Head moth, chat, because on its back, so right near its little wings, chat, near its shoulders, it has a skull on it. Very creepy. Very creepy. So just like the image here, where he's got the little skull on his back. Very accurate, chat. Apparently, Buffalo Bill, he likes his moths. And we just saw earlier, chat, he has all those goddamn moths. Eventually, though, we cut back to good old Buffalo Bill, chat, and he's like, you gotta put the lotion in the basket. And she's like, I don't want to put the lotion in the basket, man. Please, this is my mom. My mom's like, very important. Mom's a very important person, okay? She can give you anything you want. She's like, it puts the lotion in the basket or it gets the hose again. She's like, I don't want to do this. She's like, put the goddamn lotion in the basket. She's like, okay. And she puts in the basket, chat. And he's taking this up, and he's shining the light down, and she sees, chat, the walls, all these claw marks, chat, these fingernails literally embedded in the concrete of this pit, chat. The blood's still there. She goes, ah! He starts mocking, because at first, chat, there's like a subtle, I don't know if her screams, I guess it can be interpreted different ways, but because by this point, you assume maybe he saw the video with Catherine's mother. But there is this, I don't know, maybe I read it, you can interpret in different ways, where he's seeing her scream, and there's almost like some sympathy, some empathy at one moment. I don't know if I'm reading it in a weird way, but it almost like he's like, no, I gotta keep doing what I gotta do. I gotta make my woman suit. Like, it's weird. I don't know if you guys read it in different ways, but maybe there was like a subtle, small bit of humanity in that one moment that we see him just trying to, like, I don't know what to do. But then he goes back on it again. And he's just like, put the lotion in the basket. And then he starts mocking her, going, just screaming and shit. And again, Ted Levine, chat, he does such a great goddamn job in this film. I don't know why he got more he didn't get more adulation for this role. I mean, it's a nasty role to play, no doubt about it. Like, you know, Lecter's the kind of the sexy, you know, it's the one that's all about the mind, the conversations and things. Where Ted Levine, he's relegated to do all the weird shit. You get to do the weird shit. You get to tuck your peen in balls and go, bana, bana, na, 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 That's what you get to do, Ted Levine. So maybe that's why they went, nah. I don't know. I think it's an iconic role. It's some people say like he's creepier than Hannibal Lecter. I think he deserved an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. I don't know if he got one. If he didn't, he deserves it, Chad. He deserves it. Millennial Prince, good to see you right there. Like my dance, like my sexy Buffalo Bill dance. Would you fuck me? I fuck me. Anyway, we cut back to Clarice Starling. And she's talking to good old Dr. Lecter, Jack. Talking to good old Dr. Lecter. Apparently, he's been so helpful in the case. He was very good about the metamorphosis. Like, that's what you were me and Doctor talking about, a transformation. It's the mobs. It's the connection. Do you know who Buffalo Bill is? He goes, maybe. Maybe I do. She's like, well, if you keep helping us, Dr. Lecter, here, I have this for you. I have this on the conditions of Buffalo Bill's capture and the safety of Catherine, the daughter of the Junior Republic Senator. We'll transfer you to this new facility with a window. Will you be able to get like an hour of exercise like every week, 20 like for on whatever day you get to go out, you get to, you know, go see a fucking water and tree and all that shit. And for 1 week of the year, you get to go to Plum Island. Plum Island, that sounds nice. Where you get to go out under supervision of a SWAT team, but you can walk the beach, you can swim in the ocean, you can do whatever the hell you want. You can even have a good old meal, you know, having your prime rib, your rare prime rib that you love so goddamn much. And he's like, I'd like to see it, Clarice. And she slides it in. He starts going over, and he's like, Plum Island, the site of animal testing and degeneration of insects. Oh, how lovely. So it's a place where they fucking melt animals, chat. They do drug testing on animals and insects. He's like, oh, great. Can't wait to swim in that fucking water. And she goes, listen, that's the best I could do. And he's like, well, I guess I'll take it. And she's goes, so sounds good, Dr. Lecter. Can't wait for it. Though, who's fucking watching this whole thing that's going on? This conversation, intimate conversation chat. Dr. Frederick Chilton. He has a fucking camera in there. He's seeing all this shenanigans. He's like, but I want credit for all of this, and he's not too pleased about it, chat. And eventually, he goes in there, chat. He gets Dr. Lecter all chained up and things. And he starts talking. He's like, Dr. Chilton, he's just like showing the power he has over Lecter, chat, where he's just kind of laying on his bed and like looking at all of his books and shit and throwing them around and things, like, you know, just tapping his pen annoyingly on the wall. And he goes, Dr. Lecter, I know that Clarice Starling was just in here earlier, and she proposed this deal to you. Well, guess what? It's the first time I ever heard of it. And apparently, I checked with the FBI, and because the deal was made, Chad, originally, supposedly, with the Junior Republican, Catherine's mother, but it was not. It was fucking fake. It was all bullshit, Chad. That's what it was. And so Dr. Lecter gave Clarice all this information, and she played him like a goddamn fiddle. And Dr. Lecter, he's just not talking to Dr. Chilton, not doing anything, and he's just looking back, and he goes, goddamn right. Okay, you got me, Clarice. Good for you. Good fucking for you. He's happy about it, chat. Like, wow, I underestimated you, Clarice. And Dr. Chilton's like, here's the new deal, Dr. Lecter. I'll move you to a new facility. I'll get you to that Plum Island that sounds, so great, animal testing and insect degeneration. But you have to tell me who fucking Buffalo Bill is. You need to tell me. And Dr. Lecter's like, oh, I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you, Dr. Chilton. He's like, good, because we're going to go to fucking, I guess they're going to go to, not Baltimore, because they're already in Baltimore, but I think they're going somewhere in Kentucky, chat, or in Virginia, West Virginia, where they're going to be moving him around, meeting with the junior senator, chat. Maybe it's D.C. It might be D.C. I'm trying to remember. He goes, great. But then, chat, like, the only thing on Lecter's mind right now is not the deal. Fuck the deal. Fuck Dr. Chilton. He just sees that Dr. Chilton left his pen on the bed. He's just looking at that pen back and forth. He goes, oh, you shouldn't have given me sharp objects. Even Dr. Chilton, chat, even he wasn't listening to his own goddamn rules. He broke his own goddamn rules, chat. What an idiot. Night Day Nick, welcome. Hope you're doing very well. Good to see you. Missy Target, welcome. Welcome. He's like, oh, shit. So Dr. Lecter, he's got a pen, chat, and shenanigans will ensue. Now, the whole thing got out that they got back to the FBI, that Director Crawford and Clarice, they gave this fake deal. Everyone's upset about the situation, chat, about what's going down right now because they put, supposedly Catherine's life in danger, trusting them to this maniac. And they're like, okay, well, now Chilton and the junior senator, now they're in charge of this whole operation, chat. So they go ahead, they fucking ship out. They go ahead and ship out Dr. Lecter, I guess it's in D.C., I assume. They get him out of the plane, the junior senator there, Chilton's there, and they have that iconic him in the mask, chat, him wheeling him out. It's like the visual, chat. It's incredible. That is always going to remain in the pop culture zeitgeist, chat. It's been parodied to death. You've seen it in other things, but it's an iconic image. And they wheel him out, chat. And Chilton's like, all right, don't you fucking pull any of your weird psychological bullshit. He goes, oh, don't worry, Dr. Chilton. I'll be on my best behavior. And they wheel him out. And because now the junior senator, she wants to talk to Dr. Lecter. And they get him up there. And he's like, I want to thank you, Dr. Lecter, for assisting us. He's like, oh, I pray that nothing bad has happened to the dear girl. We've wasted enough time thanks to the actions of Clarice Starling and Director Crawford of the FBI. I'm here to help you, ma'am. He's mocking her voice too, chat. And, what's his name? He says this name. He puts it out there, and they go, oh, shit, fuck, it's the name. It's the name. Here we fucking go. They're all writing it down. It's like, we're going to arrest him. We're going to go and arrest him right now. And then he starts just being an asshole. And he goes, Junior Senator, I have a question for you. And she goes, yes. Did you breastfeed dear Catherine? And everyone's like, whoa, enough of the boob talk here, enough of the bazunga talk and the breastfeeding, doctor. Like, that makes us uncomfortable. Breasts are not to be, we like them when they're just out, okay? We don't like the process of feeding from them. He goes, I don't give a shit, it's natural. And she's like, hold on. She goes, yes, I did breastfeed her. She goes, do you think, like I've heard that when a person loses a limb, they still feel it. You think that when good old Buffalo Bill skins and kills your daughter, you'll feel a little tingle when she used to suck on your nipple? And she's like, fuck you! Take this monster back to Baltimore. And then he starts providing him more. I mean, look, that was a hell of a thing to say. Jesus Christ. I'm like, oh my God. Dr. Lecter, come on. Then he starts giving more details. Like, this guy is 5'10". He's 165 pounds. Like, all that good shit, chat. And they're like, all this great details. And Dr. Chilton, he's on camera, chat, and he's lavish. He's like, oh, yeah, my name is, it's like, do you have the name of Buffalo Bill? It's like, no, I don't. Whoa, that name is currently being used by the FBI, but I could tell you my name. My name is Dr. Frederick Chilton of Baltimore Sanatorium and something. Like, again, shit, just doing for all personal fucking glory. Thank you, Dark Slayer, for the 5 big phantom nipple sucking. Yes, phantom nipple sucking. Will it tickle you? Will it tickle you? Exactly, Mellow Prince. Yeah, best Hannibal, Mickelson or Hopkins? Oh, that's a hard question. They do such a great job. They really do. Mickelson is amazing, Hannibal Lecter, but I don't know. I really have to think about that. I haven't watched all of Hannibal either. I've only watched like 2 seasons of it. I never finished the third. They went to 4 seasons, right? I never watched the 4th season or 3rd and 4th season. So, but they both do excellent jobs. They play the character very different from each other. Where you know what it is. I'm actually glad you brought that up. That's a great question, the Elite. Mickelson's Hannibal Lecter he's always has to maintain the facade of like always trying to suppress like what he really is. And yeah, he's sarcastic, but he's very charming. He's very respectful. Like that is always out there. And so he has that cover. But when you look at like Anthony Hopkins, the facade is just gone. Now you know what he is underneath all that. All that was just window dressing. Now he just gets to say everything like, yeah, your phantom nipple sucking like that. Like I think like that is a part of Mickelson's character, but it only comes out occasionally. But he has to maintain a facade constantly to hide who he really is. While Hopkins is like that facade has disintegrated 8 years ago when he was captured, and so now it's just all out there. So it's different. It's a different version of Lecter that they're playing, and I like that. But it feels like the same person at the same time. Like it feels natural for what they're going for in the setting that they're in. So it's hard to pick. Yeah, I don't know. It's a very good question. Honestly, at the end of the day, I guess it's subjective to which one you prefer. People who like Mickelson, I get it. I totally understand, Chad. I mean, I think also long form, you get more of a intimate dynamic with him with other characters, and so you feel in a weird way more attached to him. Whereas Hopkins is it's otherworldly. He's always behind the cage. It's not even an arm's length, you know? And so you want him behind that cage. Whereas if someone like Mickelson, you want to have a conversation with him. He puts you at ease, where Hopkins puts you at unease. So both are great performances overall. I dig them both. Brian Cox, I haven't seen all of Manhunter, so I can't even say how I would feel about him. I've seen clips of his performance. I got to give it the time of day, Jay. Maybe I'll review Manhunter on stream someday. Give it a chance, chat. But he says all this shit, and they're like, okay, we're going to relocate you to a new, like a temporary prison to send you to the other facility, right? And so they get him in this fucking, I guess it's a hotel, really. I don't know where they are. It's like this big old hotel, chat, and it's this ballroom. And it just looks, it's what he wanted to. Like, we'll give you what you want. He's like, I want to be in this hotel, in this room, and see this floor, this ballroom. And it's very fucking ornate, chat. Again, it's a great evolution of what he originally had, chat, which is like that thick plastic. And now he's starting to go back to what he originally loved, chat, like, the classical architecture, culture. He gets to play his music now and everything. It's just really cool to shift the dynamic. And then, Clarice Starling, she's like, wait a minute, like this name and everything, this is weird. She's like, there's more to this. Like, and Director Crawford's like, I want you to follow up on some more stuff, okay, to really make this a tight-knit case. Because we're like, well, we know who he is, but we need to know what his connection with all these people so we can figure it out. And so she sends him to the home of the father, the first victim's original home, where she meets with his father. I think it's somewhere in West Virginia or Virginia. She goes and talks to him, and he goes, oh, yeah, I've told you everything, that the police and you guys have nothing, no information. She goes, that's fine, sir. Just came here, see if we can learn something. Maybe something more, maybe a detail was missed. And he goes, all right, well, you can go to her room up there. I think her name was Katie or something. And she goes up to her room, chat, she's exploring it and everything. And she's looking around. She also did some interviews of some people, of the first victim, and she's asking him, like, did she have a boyfriend? And there's something like, no, she did go up there for like a job to Chicago. That's when she was kidnapped, apparently. But she did have a person who trained her in like dressmaking and things. Like dressmaking was her life. And she goes, okay, that's interesting. And eventually goes to her house. She's exploring the room and everything. She notices this music box. She opens it up. It's actually a really cool little scene here. She opens it up and it plays, whimsical music. Then she notices like there's a compartment, chat, like a little slit that's been made that was like cut. And she lifts that down. The music gets all weird and like all fucked up. And she takes out these pictures, chat, and it's like it's the victim in her underwear. Like someone took these pictures. It's like, who the hell did this? And she's going through all these pictures. She's like, okay, this is odd. It's very odd. She puts them back in there. She continues exploring the room. And then she goes to the dressmaking room that was used by the first victim, chat, and she opens it up, and she sees, like, oh, my God! She sees the exact same diamond shapes, chat, on the dress. And she goes, she calls Director Crawford, goes, he's fucking making a woman suit. That's his connection with the first victim. Apparently, that's what he does for a living. He's a tailor or a dressmaker. And he's somewhere in this area. And then Dr. Crawford's like, don't worry, Clarice Starling. Fucking Dr. Lecter. He revealed all that shit. He revealed all that good shit. Also, chat, there was a moment when Clarice Starling, she goes to see Dr. Lecter one more time, where he gives her that one advice that leads her to go see the first victim. That's what it is. It all starts in the beginning, Clarice. But he goes and sees her. And we get that intimate moment again with them where it's like, quid pro quo, I gave you something, now give me my last thing, And she tells her the story of why she ran away from the rancher. And she said that they were very kind people, but one night I woke up. He's like, why did you wake up, Clarice? He's like, I heard screaming. It's like, what was screaming, Clarice? It's the lambs. They were slaughtering them. And he's like, what did you do? He's like, I went downstairs. I saw them. They were just killing all of them. I saw that the pen was closed. I opened the pen. But they didn't know what to do. They were just animals. They were just confused. And he's like, what did you do next? And he says, I grabbed one, and I just ran off. And it's like, what did you expect to do with that lamb? He says, I just thought if I could take one, that would be good enough. I could save at least one. And I didn't have any food. I didn't have any water. It was so cold. And he's basically saying, well, what happened next? He's like, well, eventually the sheriff picked me up. 10 hours later, I traveled like 15 miles down the road. And he's like, what happened to the lamb, Clarice? What happened to the lamb? He's like, what happened to you? He's like, well, the rancher was so mad at me that he fucking put me in an orphanage. She's like, shit, that was family, chat. There's her family put in an orphanage. And he's like, what happened to the lamb, Clarice? He's like, they slaughtered it. They killed it. And he goes, so this is what this is, Clarice? Yes, you think that if you'll find Dio Catherine, you'll save Dio Catherine, it'll be like making up for everything that happened on that day with your father, making it that connection. He goes, yes, yeah, she admits to it. And he just goes, you know what, you fact, you were so fucking honest with me, unlike all these goddamn liars. Thank you. Here's your answer. It's in these notes. You already had the answer. I love it. Just fuck with the chat. You've always had the answer, Clarice. And she goes, the fuck? And she goes, sorry, you got it. And they take her, chat, because she's not supposed to be in there. Like, you gotta go. And he's like, Clarice, your notes. And he holds him out the bar. She goes, ah! She throws the guys off her, chat. She runs on over. And he holds him out there, and he brushes her finger, chat, so intimately. There's always a focus on the hands of the characters, chat. Buffalo Bill's hands, how he works with the flesh suits. Scott Glenn, her handshake. But then this moment too, chat. There's a lot. It rhymes. The way he just rubs against her finger with his own is very intimate. And then she's like, the fuck? And she eventually leaves. And then that's when she goes to Virginia, meets with the father, and notices he's making a woman's suit, chat. And Director Crawford tells her that okay, we already got him. We're going to his house right now. We'll meet you there. You go follow up on that address, that dressmaker's address. And he says, okay, great. I'll go over and see that dressmaker, because apparently they think that's not the same person. That's what it is. They don't think it's the same goddamn person. Eventually, though, chat, we cut back to Dr. Lecter, and he's getting a second din, chat. He's getting a second dinner, lamb chops, extra bloody. Got a good old baked potato in there, chat. Got some lima beans and some corn, chat. No Chianti, though. No Chianti. And the guards are bringing it over, and they're like, this fucker asked for a goddamn second dinner. Crazy. And Dr. Lecter, he's just, he's listening to his music, and they're like, Dr. Lecter, you have your dinner? He's like, a moment, boys, I'll be just ready. And then, chat, out of his fucking mouth, he has part of the little, the pen. He's part of the pen. He had it inside of him the whole time, chat. And he goes, and he hides it in his hand, like this, like underneath here, like between his two fingers right there, chat. And he goes, good evening, gentlemen. I go, all right, Dr. Lecter, same thing that we've done before. Put your hand behind the bars. We're going to handcuff you. We're going to put your food down right here. And he goes, no problem. And so he does that, chat. And they come in there. They notice some of they have the tray, but he's like, mind the drawings, please. And the drawing shit of one of Clarice with the baby lamb, like adult Clarice, the baby lamb. It's like, okay, so he has a thing for her now, chat. He's a little intimate. And he's like, all right, shit, fuck it. So they're moving all this over. Meanwhile, chat, he's working on the handcuffs behind him. He's like, I'm gonna get this fucking thing off. And they put the drawings down, they put the food down. There's one guard, and then fucking Hannibal Lecter, he takes the cuffs off and goes, ah! And he cuffs him to the bars. He's like, oh shit, fuck! And he goes, ah! And he goes, Barry, help me! And Barry ain't gonna help him, chat, because he just dives right at fucking Barry. Goes, he starts eating his fucking face immediately. He goes, and Barry's like, oh! He doesn't even know what's happening, chat. His face is just getting munched on, his nose, his eyes, just screaming his ass off. And eventually just fucking grabs him and goes, just slamming him against it. He's just covered in blood and viscera and meat, chat. It's ridiculous. And then he takes the stick, chat, the good old baton, the police baton. The guy's like, oh shit, fuck, Jesus. And Lecter just starts going, just bashing his fucking brain. Dark Slayer, Lecter, he became Florida Man, shit. He got the bath salts. There was bath salts in those lamb chops, shit. His face was tired. But just, and naturally he just, after that guy's face, like this one guy's face was eaten, he's just dragging himself away. The other guy's just been bludgeoned to death. He's just been fucking bludgeoned to death, chat. His head's caved in. And Lecter's, it's an iconic, beautiful image of him, just the music's playing, and he's just like he's freedom for the first time, chat. Actual fucking freedom. The Bach come to the Bach. He's just like, yes. And it's like, I'll be with you in a minute, Barry. He's still not finished with fucking Barry, chat. Eventually, he gets Barry. Then we cut down to the floor, chat, the main floor of the lobby area, and they see the elevator just like, because it's a private elevator to the ballroom, chat, just going back and fucking forth, and they're going, what the fuck is that? And it's like, did anyone supposed to go to the 5th floor? And they go, no. And then it's going all the way back down to 2, and like, oh shit. And they call like the 2 guards up there that are supposed to guard Lecter. It's like, you guys there? No fucking answer. And they go, oh my god, we got to go up there now. We got to go up there right now. And so they get up into the elevator, chat, and they get on the 4th floor, and they go into the ballroom, and it's just, it's like a nightmare. It's like this religious nightmare, chat, where Dr. Lecter, he skinned the one guard who he bludgeoned to death, chat, ripped open his stomach so all of his intestines are hanging out, and he's like been crucified, chat. He's got the lighting on. It's this beautiful, horrifying image. They're like, the music's playing, the music's beautiful, and they're like, holy fucking shit, and when they see all this stuff, like, it took some work. It took some major fucking prep time for this, and they're like, oh my god, and one of the guys just fucking sits down. He's like, I'm gonna sit down. There's a lot going on here, and they go to the one guard, chat. Good old Barry the guard, chat. And he's got major face lacerations. He's like, is that guy fucking dead? And he goes, oh, and he's like, oh, he's still alive. And the one guy's talking to the one rookie. He's like, talk to him, Morty, talk to him. He's like, oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, Barry. You're looking great. Don't fucking lie to him. Don't tell me I'm looking great when I know my face is being peeled off. It's like, you're looking great, Barry. You're going to be okay. I don't think so. And they're like, where the fuck is Dr. Lecter? Like, Dr. Lecter's gone. And they get the one guard down, chat. We got to call in the fucking SWAT team. We got to call in we got to shut the city down. 10 square blocks. We got to shut this place down. And they get the SWAT team in there and everything. Trying to look for him. Like, we got to get this victim up. We got to, like, they get to call the paramedics and things, and they get it there, but then fucking Barry, he starts, like, having like a seizure, chat. Like, he's going into cardiac arrest. Like, we got to stabilize him. And they're like, we got to get him out. We got to get him out of here right now. And they got him in the elevator. And the one head officer is just like, okay, Dr. Lecter, we have no idea where the hell he is. Keep going. Maintain that 10-block radius all around us. And then, chat, they notice these drops of blood. Dr. Lecter has a gun on him. He has a gun. They notice these drops of blood just falling from the ceiling. And they go, what the fuck? And they look up, chat, and this, like, massive blood is just pooled. It's pooled right above the top of the elevator. And they go, he's fucking on top of the elevator. They don't say it, though. They're like, they're like, sir, you broke up. He's like, just maintain that fucking perimeter. And eventually they get good old Barry out of there, Chad. They take him in the ambulance. But the SWAT team comes in, and they're like, and they're like, oh, shit. They get everyone, they got the MP5s. Shit, I remember because I play video games a lot, and they have MP5s, and they have all their guns trained up there. Okay, we're going to 1, 2, 3. They open that shit, and boom, they fall, a dead body. Oh, no. What happens first is they go upstairs, and they see a body. They see Dr. Lecter there, and they're like, Dr. Lecter, and they shoot him, It's like, there's no movement. They shoot him in the leg, and he goes, no, nothing happens. And then they do the whole thing where they go, 3. They open up the door, chat, and it falls through. It's not Dr. Lecter, chat. It's Barry. It's faceless Barry. And it's like, uh-oh. And then we cut to the ambulance, chat. We're like, okay, we got to get this guy to the fucking hospital. We stabilized him. But then, chat, we see that the eyes of Barry open up, and Barry's face is peeled off. And who has the peeled off face, chat? What's underneath it? Dr. Lecter. And it's just, it's so good. Apparently what they did, chat, they put SpaghettiOs. Part of the makeup effect here was fucking SpaghettiOs. And it was like gross. Dr. Lecter said it's like Anthony Hopkins said I didn't eat like pasta for a month because I hated it. I just got the smell of tomato sauce. It took me so long to get that off my skin. But fucking SpaghettiOs. And he rips that shit off and he just stabs the shit out of that guy, chat. And then we cut back Director Crawford and I think Shirley's are talking on the phone. And that's when the whole reveal of the information, all that bullshit. With the going to that other house saying, yeah, he peeled the face off a guy and he escaped when you don't know where he is. They found the paramedic, the ambulance, and that thing is the driver was killed, the paramedic and behind with him was killed, and he also killed a tourist apparently. Killed a tourist, took all his money and shit. We have no idea where the fuck he is. It's like great. Chris Starling's like, oh, it's okay. I'm going to go investigate the dressmaker. Okay, I'm sure we'll meet up very, very soon. Eventually, Chad, we cut back to Director Crawford and the FBI and stuff, and they raid the house of what they think is good old Buffalo Bill, Chad. Good old fucking Buffalo Bill. But it's not the house. It's not the house of Buffalo Bill, Chad. It's like, oh, shit, Clarice, we got to get a hold of her, Chad. But this is 1991, and cell phones do not exist. They do not exist. Meanwhile, cut back to the house of Buffalo Bill, Chad, where he's doing his thing, Chad. He's making his woman suit. We see the diamond shapes and everything, and we get the dance that bana, bana, na 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 na. He's tucking his peanut balls away, bana, just fucking dance, Chad. Ooh, ooh, like all that. Eventually, Catherine, she's doing some shenanigans herself, though, chap, because she got some table scraps from Buffalo Bill, some food, because she's been hungry, she hasn't been fed well, and she manages to tie one of these strings that she found, Chad, around a bone, and she does that to get Precious, Chad, to get good old Precious, and to lead her down, and Precious, being the dumb little poodle that she is, grabs the fucking bone, she fucking yanks her down there, and she falls in the pit with her. And, you know, Buffalo Bill hears the screeching and the howling, Chad. He goes, what'd you do to Precious? He's like, I'll fucking kill her, mister. She broke her leg. She's gonna die. He's like, don't you fucking hurt my dog. He's very upset about it, Chad. He doesn't know what to do. He's befuddled. And that's why he hears the doorbell ring. He's like, oh, oh. And he goes to check on the doorbell, Chad. Presents himself. You know, he takes off the woman's suit. As you do, you take off the woman's suit, Chad. That's probably a good thing. And who does he see at his fucking front door, Chad? Clarice Starling. She's like, I just have a few questions for you, sir. If I take a moment of your time. He goes, okay. And he's like, did a fucking dressmaker, I think, what was her name? Mrs. like L something, Mrs. Lestal, Mrs. Lipton. I think Mrs. Lipton is her name, Chad. We'll go with Mrs. Lipton. Did Mrs. Lipton live here? I was like, they don't live here anymore. And she goes, oh, that's okay. I mean, if I can, get like a relative number, that'd be good, and just maybe contact. And he goes, okay. It's like, also, did a person by the name of like Katie something, the first victim of the case, Chad, did she frequent this house? And he goes, not that I can remember. Wait, was she a big old fat person? And she goes, she was a hefty girl. Yes, she was a big girl. He goes, oh yeah, I read in the newspapers. Well, like, come on in, and I'll get that phone number for you. And she goes in, she's like, oh, it's a fucking serial killer house, because he has all the fucking moths are flying around, Chad. He's got, like, it's just a mess in there. All the dressmaking materials. Like, Buffalo Bill got fucking lazy. He did not care. It was just like, all right, clearly this guy's a serial killer. And she's looking around, and Buffalo Bill's like looking for the card. She goes, oh, fuck, this is the guy. This is him. They got it wrong. They got the wrong name, went to the wrong house. And I'm here in the house with him alone. And, you know, she's looking around. She's like, she has her gun like in a little button holster. She unplugs that button, Chad. Thank you, Better Arcade, for the 5 days. Goodbye, horses. Hey, what up, Chris? Good to see you, Better Arcade. Welcome to the show. Doing very well. We're just almost at the end of the movie. We're in the domain of Buffalo Bill. And, you know, Buffalo Bill, he gets the numbers, like, here you go. And Clarice Starling, like, she does not have a good poker face. She goes, yeah, thanks to that. I'll go ahead and take it. He goes, yeah, here you go. And she goes, freeze! She puts a gun, and she's like, get on your fucking hands and knees, put your fucking hands behind your head, and he goes, and he disappears, Chad. He disappears in the kitchen where he has this big old fucking Magnum, Big Dick Mozambique. And he takes it, she goes, shit! She should have shot him. And he goes back into the bowels of the basement, Chad. She's like, oh, God damn it. And she goes down there, too, and she's looking for him. She's looking for him everywhere, Chad. She finds the pit with Catherine. She's like, get me the fuck out of here, you bitch. She's like, Catherine, I would appreciate if you don't use that foul language in front of me or that dog. I'm going to get you out of here. I'm going to be right back. She said, fuck you. Get me out of here now. She's like, I'll save you. And she's sort of looking for Buffalo Bill. And she finds, oh, Chad, she goes into the bathroom down there. Holy, I don't know how this works, or that you would just smell it. She goes in the bathroom, Chad, where she finds Mrs. Lipton, and she's been I don't know how to describe it, Chad. It's like she's been encased in, like, mold shit. I don't know what it is. Like, embalming fluid mixed with mold, but you see her mummified head in there. It looks disgusting. Like, how the fuck did this happen? I have no idea. T-Mac, welcome to the stream. And it's just gross. I'm like, oh, the smell. I mean, that's the thing. You would have smelled that. I imagine it's already fucking stinky, Chad, with the fucking flesh suits and the moths shitting all over the place and the dead bodies you've cut up. And she's looking all of this. Like, this basement's like a goddamn labyrinth, Chad. So fucking, the decay, especially Golden. Yes. Given so welcome, she hope you're doing very well. Eventually, Chad, all the fucking lights go out, and it goes. He cuts the electricity to the basement, and goes, "Oh shit!" And he puts on the night vision goggles, Chad. It's like, oh no. And so he sees her. Then we get just like his cat and mouse game, Chad, where he's just fucking with her. He's always in front of her. I mean, eventually your eyes would adjust to the darkness, but whatever. We'll go with it. But he's just like reaching out to her, chat, like constantly, like almost touching her face. It's just, oh, it's so intimate and dark and creepy. Again, the touching, chat, the touching. Eventually though, he's like, all right, I have enough playing around and shit. He takes out his big dick Mozambique check, clicks it, pulls back the trigger, but that shouldn't have done that. You should have already had that, trigger pulled back. She hears that, goes, ah! And she just fucking lays into him, Chad. Empties her entire pistol into Buffalo Bill, and one of her shots, I think his shot goes off the wall, and it hits like the one of the little basement windows, and the light comes pouring in, and we see that he's collapsed on the ground, Chad, and he goes, and he dies. Buffalo Bill is defeated, Chad. Plus he's just horrifically blinded too. But it's defeated. Buffalo Bill's gone, Chad. Eventually, the FBI and the police, they get there, and they get Catherine. She's like, oh, this is my dog now. This is my dog. She loves Precious now, Chad. And Scott Glenn, he shows up. You did some incredible fucking work, Clary Starling. He's like, thank you, sir. I'm a little traumatized right now, so I appreciate we get back to FBI headquarters. He goes, hell yeah. Eventually, they get back to the FBI headquarters, Chad. Take some time off. And his graduation, now Clarice Starling's an official member of the FBI, Chat. All the various honors, her friends are all happy for her. Yay, Clarice! You got a big old fucking cake, Chat, good-looking fucking cake. It's going great. Everyone's talking to Clarice Starling. Everyone's like, you did so goddamn good. Scott Glenn, Director Crawford, he shows up, Chat, and he goes, congratulations, you did an incredibly good job. Not bad for your first case. He's like, I'm never good at these kind of places, so I'm going to head out. These kind of things, I'm going to head out. And he goes, no problem, sir. And he holds out, she holds out her hand, then he takes her hand. We get that intimate touch. So it's like, okay, there's something between them, obviously. And they have that. So he holds the hand a little too long. And eventually he leaves. He says, oh, by the way, you have a phone call. Someone that wanted me to mention that to you. And she goes, oh, great. And she's like, thank you. And she goes over to the phone call, Chad. She goes, hello? Hello, Clarice. Dr. Lecter, you're back. And she's like, Dr. Lecter? And he goes, don't bother trying to trace this call. I won't be on for very long. And she's like, Dr. Lecter, you were right about that. It wasn't my notes. She's like, oh, I know. You solved it quite well. Quid pro quo, Miss Starling. And I hope the screams of the lambs will be quiet for you. They'll be silent. Silence of the lambs, shit. He said the movie title. And she goes, Dr. Lecter, tell me where you are. Tell me where you are. Okay, it doesn't have to be like this. He's like, I'm sorry, Clarice, I need to go. I'm having someone for dinner. And when we see, chap, he's somewhere in Africa. And who is getting off this plane? Who's gone to hiding? Frederick Chilton, Chad. That little weasel. Yeah, Dr. He's coming for you. He's like, and Dr. Chilton's like, so is my room prepared? Is security there? It's like, don't worry, sir. We got all the top security there. It's like, And he's walking away, Chad. And Dr. Lecter, in a terrible fucking wig and hat, just goes right after him, Chad. And then we have fucking credits where he definitely eats. There's no doubt about it. He fucking murders, or maybe eats and then murders, Chad, Dr. Frederick Chilton. And that, my friends, is Silence of the Lambs, the Academy Award-winning 1991 horror thriller. Highly recommend checking out this film if you've not done so, Chad. It's on Netflix right now. Rocket Birdie, thank you for the 35 biddies. Woo. Yes, thank you so much, guys. So hope you enjoyed the review. Chad. I'm just going to go ahead and refill my beverage because I am fucking thirsty.